got a Dodge Demon 170.
Is that like a power muscle car?
Yeah, it's 1,025 horsepower and
That's it?
0 to 60 in 1.6.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's a rocket ship.
Yeah, it's a rocket ship. So I love that thing. I mean, I kid you not. I start that thing up, just makes me smile.
All right, welcome to another episode of On the Bag. We're here at Talking Stick Golf Club in Scottsdale, Arizona. I am joined by none other than Jake Knapp. We're going to do what we do on the series. We're going to play 9 holes, ball and hole, like it was a tour event. How are we feeling coming in the round?
Feeling good. You know, weather's nice. Course looks pure. Never played here, so we'll see what we can do.
Well, we got a yardage book. We have a very good golfer. You just shot 59 like a month ago.
Yeah.
So I'd say the over-under for today is, it is a resort course. I feel like you can hit a lot of drivers.
True.
I'm going to say 32.5.
Okay. Deal. I'll accept.
You ready for that?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it going. All right, first hole here. We looked at our yardage book. There's a little bunker out there. I think you can see it. It's like 330.
Okay.
I think it should be fine into the wind, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how into it is. It seems like it's a little
More off the
to
right.
left.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think ending it kind of on that, just left of it ideally, probably on the flag would be nice.
Yeah. So that's your finish line, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. That should be good.
Little right.
Wind's got it. It's gonna move a little left. It's a good start. You didn't hit that good?
No, I did fine. A little higher than I would have liked.
No
but that's
breakfast ball needed.
No.
So I want to start at the beginning.
Okay.
So you're from Orange County.
Yep.
Siblings.
Older brother.
So you golfer?
He's a very good golfer. He just won the club championship at our home course for like the 3rd time in 4 years.
Did he
Something
play
like
in
that.
college?
Yeah, he played at UC Irvine. He turned pro and then like played some mini tour events, and I honestly don't remember if he did Q school or anything like that. He just like didn't really love the lifestyle necessarily. Just wasn't really the travel. He's more of a homebody and enjoys spending time with family and friends. So yeah, he's got a wife and he's got a kid. He's got a second one that's gonna come any day now. So he's happy.
Your dad and I are Instagram friends.
Yeah.
He responds to a lot of my stuff.
Yep.
He's got strong opinions on California matters.
Always, of course.
I love him. Is he a big golfer?
No, not really. He basically like took a golf class in college at OCC, and kind of got into it that way and enjoyed playing just casual golf with my uncle, and you know.
So it's just kind of a coincidence that you and your brother got so into it.
Yeah, I mean, when I was born, they moved into a new house that was right across the street from a public course, and then my mom's parents had a condo out in Palm Springs on a golf course that we'd go out to, and then my dad's parents, when they retired and moved, they moved out to Palm Springs as well and lived on this little like par 3-4 executive thing, and so we just like anytime went to visit them around them, we're just always around golf.
So it's kind of, yeah, it was around. You take to it pretty young?
Yeah, I mean, I think I played in my first tournament when I was like 6.
Oh wow.
I think I peed my pants, and then I started. I don't know. I think I just remember. I remember my mom's dad always talking about that and always saying how I don't know, got embarrassed or did something. Didn't really know the rules that well. I just like enjoyed smacking it around. But yeah, I mean, I started playing when I was like 2.5 or 3, and I don't know, just kind of fell in love with it and just would go play 9 holes early in the morning at the public course across the street. You know, found a really good group of guys that worked there and took care of the course, that took really good care of us, and they just kind of became our family. And
so were you one of those kids who, like, when you were 7 or 8, you knew you wanted to be a pro golfer? I
mean, yes and no. I knew I loved doing it. Like, when people ask me now, like, when did I know? I'm like, I don't know. I just know I love playing, I love practicing, and like, there's just nothing else I want to do. So it's just all I do.
See, that was my problem, was I didn't love practicing. I still don't. I mean, I went out yesterday to try to get dialed for this tournament I'm playing in this weekend, and I'll hit like 3 good 9-irons, and I'm like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I mean, there's days where I don't love practicing either. Like when things aren't going well, like it's funny. Sometimes when things are going really well, you're almost like, yeah, I could take a day off. You know, things are going good. Like I don't want to overdo it. And then sometimes when things are going really bad, you know, I'll either get the itch to be like, man, I can't sleep at night, so I need to spend all day at the course, or it's the opposite, and it's like, man, maybe I just need a breather. But usually don't take much time off. I'm kind of a bit of a range rat and enjoy practicing.
I mean, I think now everyone, I don't know if it's just the hair of the California, everyone thinks of you as like a really chill, person on the golf course. I think that's, from what I've seen, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
What were you like as a kid? Like, what was your temperament?
So hot.
Yeah.
I ran so hot. I mean, I still do. Like, I still get so frustrated. I still get upset, slam clubs, do whatever. But at the same time, like, you know, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, it's just golf. Like, no, it's a big deal. Like,
It's your life.
I've worked really hard to get here. Like, you know, I care a lot about it. I put a ton of time into it, so I think I'm allowed to care.
100%.
But no, when I was a kid, my coach used to call me a bunch of different nicknames, Stenmark and like Wally and all these different things, and they just had to do with like basically different things that had to do with getting really upset. Like, I would slam clubs, throw clubs, just throw hissy fits all the time. So that took probably a little bit longer than it should have to grow out of.
79 yards. That was a perfect tee shot.
Yeah.
About 15 yards short of the bunker, so that probably went about 315.
Okay.
Looks like a green light special, man. This is a resort pin. This is a Pro-Am pin right here.
Yeah, this is a dead center pin.
I was gonna say, you don't
no
see,
excuses.
Don't see many of these on tour.
How far is it?
79 yards.
79. A little into the wind.
You play for maybe a little bit of bounce?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna hope that they're not spongy. This course doesn't look super soft, so fingers crossed we just get like a hop and stop.
Hey, what, this fairway's in pretty good shape.
This is pure.
Yeah.
This is really good. This is that time. This is the best time of year for Arizona in my year and a half of living here. Sit.
All right. Nice soft bounce.
Take that.
It's interesting what you said about putting a lot of time in. So I play a lot of golf with like some guys who didn't make it.
Yeah.
You know, they played in college and then it didn't work out. And I think there's such a bitterness because you donate so much time to this game.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, you play like high level Division I college. You know, you put like 20 years of it in.
Yeah.
And then it can just be so cruel in
Yeah.
return.
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where you're not playing anymore and you're like, well, you never got to this point, but it's like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, I just always spent every day, all day at the golf course. And like, there were definitely times when I was, you know, still in mini tours or Canadian tour or whatever it might be, not really playing very well, that I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm still spending all this time and like, it doesn't really show that I'm getting any better. You know, I'm not really getting the results that I want. But then like, you know, at the same time, I'd play with guys like, whether it was Brian or guys who were a level above me, and then I would play just as well as them, or I could compete with them. And I'm like, okay, so it's obvious that like the game is there. Just have to like figure out why it's not when I need it to be or whatever it is. Place is like sneaky, kind of firm.
Ended up in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
So how are you on the greens? Are you like an aim point guy, or are you kind of a feel guy?
I'm a combination of both. I learned aim point super early on. I think I've got my first lesson in it in like 2014 or 15 or something like that.
You're an OG.
Yeah, so I use regular aim point, then I learned aim point express. And then now I've used it for so long, like I kind of use my own ish system.
The nap. Edit.
Yeah, just like, I just realized that I like, for a while I was trying to be like way too perfect. And so now I use it to get me in like a general area and then go and play off my own feel from there.
Do you line it up?
No, I line it up every once in a while, but like lines just give me the heebie-jeebies. I'm honestly just not good at lining it up. Like, I've practiced for so long, and I'll do it on, like, I do it when I practice a lot because it gives you good feedback.
Yeah,
on,
you
like,
can see if it's rolling end over end.
Yeah, line and speed. But in tournaments, I tend to get like really fixated on the line, and then I have bad speed or vice versa. So
this is outside the hole. It's gonna break.
Yeah. It's probably, I mean, like, I think personally it's probably just outside of ball, kind of pending speed. But I'm like find the high point guy, and then just I see like straight putts and then things.
Straight putt to a high point.
Working off from there.
Good start.
1 for 1.
Can't birdie them all if you don't birdie the first.
Ain't that true?
Right in the red right away. Good
We'll
stuff.
take it.
I love it. That was easy.
Yeah, something like that.
I got a little bit of a road hole situation here.
Yeah, a little bit of don't go left.
I was gonna say, I wasn't gonna say it. I'm a positive caddy.
We got
a lot of room to the right.
You have to acknowledge it. My depth perception's bad on new courses.
This is what it looks like allegedly.
What's that?
Just a field.
Oh my God. Yeah, see, like, so when I see those, like, I'm just trying to pick a tree out and be like, yeah, that seems about where driver would go, and then it's 400 yards. I'm like, okay, so.
So you're very target oriented.
Somewhat. I like to frame it. So, like, I'll use my fingers sometimes.
Okay.
To, like, give me an idea. Like, a narrow fairway is, like, one finger. Like, a normal fairway is, like, just inside two fingers.
So you hold it like this?
Yeah, so I'll hold it like that. So sometimes if I get on, like, either really wide fairways or something, and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much to aim at, I'll, like, hold up two fingers and just be like, okay, well, like, that's a point and that's a point, and, like, we're going to focus on that.
Got it.
So
you've got, is it like that, sort of the peak of, not the really pointy mountain, but the one left of it?
Left of it, yeah, exactly. So you see, like, I'll go off of, like, the tree line, like the tallest little puff in the trees.
Yeah.
That's kind of like,
Perfect.
I would say, center or the left.
Exactly where I was looking.
Yeah. So I'll do stuff like that. Just helps narrow the focus a little bit.
Bombs away though.
Anti. All right.
That'd probably be fine. So when you shot 59,
Yeesh.
were you just like in another dimension?
It was just like, I mean, not yes and no. Like, it was one of those where I've shot 58 at my home course. I've shot 60 or 61 a couple times, and like in a U.S. Open qualifier, I shot, I think, 60 or 61. But yeah, I'd never shot 59 before. I shot 58. Shot 58 at my home course. The public went across the street. It's par 70, but I made 2 bogeys. So it was
some eagles
an interesting day. Yeah, a couple eagles, and I started off like bogey, birdie, birdie, bogey, and then proceeded to shoot 12 from there. But it was, but that one, like at PGA National, like it was one of those where it's like, oh man, you know that the conditions were perfect. Like, weather was better than anything you could ever imagine. It was like high 60s, low 70s with absolutely zero wind. Yeah. I knew when I walked out of I was staying with my agent that week at his place, and there was like streets were wet, cars had water all over them, and I was like, oh, that's more than like sprinkler or dew. Like that's definitely like it rained last night. So I was like, the course is gonna be soft. And I was like a little worried teeing off the first hole, we were just gonna get mud balls all morning, but it was like perfect. The course was just dry enough and at the same time just receptive enough where you could just kind of take dead aim. You weren't gonna get any shots that like ran away from you. And then and I was just hitting it good. Like the first hole I hit it right over the flag, and then the second hole I made like a little mental mistake and didn't hit a great one, but then pretty much everything from there on in was like ball striking was just a 10 out of 10 that day.
So that round was like a plus 14 index.
Well, that's like guys were like, oh man, you're unconscious with the putter, and I was like, no, I hit everything to 4 feet.
Do you have a handicap? Have you ever had a handicap?
Not really. I mean, I have one that like, I don't think has had like a score added to it, and I don't even know how long, to be honest with you. But I'm probably like I played like a +6 most of the time.
I was gonna say I'm roughly Skratch. I'd want 4 side.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking +8.
Yeah, +8.
Yeah.
So at my home course, it's funny. They let me judge based on like how the greens are at that time. If the greens are really good, I feel comfortable playing to a higher, +6, 7, 8, whatever. If the greens aren't good, then I'm like, well, like that's my main advantage is like I'm gonna be able to make those like 8, 10, 12 footers.
Yeah.
And if I don't, then like I don't want to.
Well, your brother's obviously a very good club player. How many do you give him?
He's like I want to say I give him like 2 and 3 or 3 and 3 sometimes. So it depends where we're playing. If it's somewhere where I've been and he hasn't, something like that, where I feel like I have the leg up, then maybe I'll give him a couple more. If we're playing at our home course, and yeah, usually like 2 and 3, something like that.
Do you play golf for fun still?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, not often. Like I've spent so much time in Arizona now, and I don't have any friends or family out here, so like 90% of the time I'm just pretty much working.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I go home, we usually try to do like a little boys trip every year where we just like, they come out and visit me here, or we just try and go out to the desert for 3 or 4 days and just go like play golf nonstop for 3 days straight.
What do you do in the summer here? I guess you're traveling.
I go back to California.
Oh, right.
So like June, July, I still have a place that I rent with some buddies, and we come and I just go and hang out with them and, spend some time around my family.
When does it get unbearable here? Like mid-May, late May?
In May it can get hot, but it's not unbearable. I would say like June for sure. Like once June hits, it's probably pretty nasty.
Yeah.
I stayed too late last year. I stayed until like 4th of July last year.
Ooh, that's really late.
Yeah, I was.
You don't want to see July.
No, not really. Not here. Where did we end up? Did it run off right?
Yeah, I think it's in the native area over here.
Oh, yeah.
325 yards to unknown. That's what it would say on Shot Tracker.
Yeah, oops.
Yeah. I didn't know there were ropes out here.
Yeah, I know.
We got a tour setting.
We're keeping the gallery out.
Well, this will be interesting.
What an opportunity.
This will be interesting. I like that. An opportunity.
Should we shoot the V gap?
So that's where my head went. But if you were playing in a tournament, would you just hit wedge over it probably? Or would you just punch a little cutter?
Oh, I'd try to get something up around the green. It's a par 5, isn't it?
It is a par 5.
Yeah.
Isn't par a social construct?
Yes and no.
You view it like you play a par 5 differently than if it was a par 4?
No. Like, I think if this was a par 4 or a par 5, I'd be trying to do the same thing. I think regardless just how I play, I tend to play a little bit more aggressive from trouble. Like, I know I trust myself, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
And so if I see something and I know I really believe it, then like I'll hit it. If I have any sense of doubt, then I won't. But
so what do you see here?
I mean, I think just like the angle of the green. If I hit it right, you're just accepting the fact that it's going in those bunkers or short right somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't exactly know what's left.
I think it's just a fence.
Yeah, but like a lie like this should spin more and be easier to, you know.
Yeah, you can get to the back of it.
Get to turn.
Yeah.
So like, I think going left and just hitting like a little wiper and trying to get it to
right on top of it.
Yeah, maybe run up on the green somewhere.
I like that. What was the number?
192.
You thinking like a turn down like a 6 iron?
Oh no, we're cutting it. So we're going the opposite way. So we're going left to right to give it like the opportunity to run up the angle of the green. So probably a little pitchy 4, and it's not really like, I mean, it's just low enough where like maybe I could hit a 5 iron and hit a little bit more of a normal shot, but now I feel like I'm relying too much on like making a big swing, hitting it well, all that sort of stuff. So this just allows me to hit a 4 iron and just
get it running.
Pitch it. Yeah. Hit something like 170. Just see it slice.
Wind should help us. Golf shot.
Stay left. Oh.
Might be a little firm, or do you think it caught the bunker?
I think it's just in the bunker, yeah.
That was a good shot, though.
Yeah, it was nice.
You were like fully aware though about the 59. Like you knew exactly what was happening.
I did. Yeah. I mean, like yes and no. Like immediately when I was 500 through the first 5 or whatever it was, I was like, you know, how many times have I gotten off to a hot start or just any golfer in general, and then you kind of cool off and you shoot 4 under or 6 under or whatever. So I was like, I got out of my own way and I was just like, I know I'm hitting it well. Like I'm just gonna go execute every shot the way I know I can, and also knowing that like it's Thursday and like you just want to go and shoot as low as you can. You just want trying to put yourself in position for the week. And so I kind of just put it behind me, and then going into the back 9, like I birdied 10, made a good putt on 11, and then like barely missed one on 12, made another one on 13, stuck it on 14. And then when I made it on 15, that was the first putt and only putt of like length that I made all day. It was like 30 feet from the middle of the green. And I was like, man, okay. Like you can even tell like when I make it, I was like, oh boy.
This is happening.
Now we're here. And so.
Well, you had a pretty decent look for 58, didn't you? It was like 20
I'd like
feet.
Look for a 57. Yeah, like I hit one on 16. I hit one 16 to like 20 feet. I tried to like cut a pitching wedge. It just fell straight, and I had like 20 feet left, and I just missed it. Then 17, I hit it to like 10 feet, and it 90-degree lift out. And then 18, I hit it to like 18, 20 feet.
For eagle though.
Yeah, but I was very much not trying to make that putt. Like I was trying to make it, but at the same time, like I have written in my yardage book that like that putt is fast, like going to the back of the green. And I knew from play last year and just practice rounds that like I wasn't trying to hit it 6 feet by.
Well,
and
three whack for 60 would have been really brutal.
That's tough to sleep at night. So
yeah.
It was very much just like, all right, let's see if we can play it high enough and die it in.
It's got to be 60, right?
Oh yeah.
Are you 60 everywhere around the green?
Not really. I mean, when overseed like this, yeah, maybe I tend to be a little bit more, but I'm not really somebody that likes to rely on spin.
Really?
Yeah. So I tend to use spin when I have to, but I usually try to just kind of let it trundle out and do its thing.
This is some powdery sand you probably don't see that much of on tour.
A little dusty.
Yeah.
Got some rocks in here. It's going to be okay, though.
Probably got to land it a little short right.
Ooh, it's a little crunchy, actually. Yeah,
crunchy?
Seems like, yeah, it's almost kind of crunchy on the top layer, which would be nice. But that can be deceiving. Just got a minefield over here on this side of the green.
What do you mean?
A lot of rocks.
You got to avoid them.
Yeah, I think we're going to hit the right one. They're all there for a reason, you know?
Little bank shot.
Yeah. Oh, that is dusty. Sick. All right.
Little chunk and run.
Yeah, it was a lot more sand than I thought.
So, you know, usually for these videos, I stress about the rake job, but I feel like
this place can't do it.
I was like, I'll just give it a courtesy little swipe.
There might as well be a sign next to the bunker that says raking optional.
Yeah.
You got good form, though. You know what you're doing.
The low handle is the key.
Oh, yeah. You ever watch Bones rake a bunker?
It's an art form.
It's magical.
How's Mikey's rake skills?
He's pretty solid. He takes his time. He's very aware that he does not want to mess somebody else up.
I mean, it's super important, right? It's kind of interesting. Like, I feel like, I remember when I told my wife and she was asking about that, she was like, wait, there's not someone who like rakes it for everybody? I was like, no, they leave it up to, she's like, well, what if they do a bad job?
I've asked people about that. Just like, what if we just had like people who stand next to the green and their job is just to rake bunkers? It's like having somebody under a basketball hoop and
they get the sweat. Yeah.
And like it's a similar idea. Like, I don't know why we wouldn't do something like that, but
seems logical. But I guess you guys are good at it.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty good. It's just the tough thing is when you get Monday qualifiers and people like that who maybe have a buddy on the bag who, you know, they might get nervous and just mess something up, or they just don't really understand how to do it. Because there is like a particular way how to rake.
I mean, there's no ire quite like a player when he gets in like a bad rake job.
Yeah. Because you always rake like little things, like, or the main thing, like you always rake going towards the pin. Like you don't, like, even if it's a convenient way to walk right out this way, like you always rake going towards the pin. So if you get caught in somebody's groove, at least like you're going with the grooves and not against them.
Right.
Like if you go against them, it's like a half plug lie.
Totally.
So like if you walk in and see that, you're
Can't
just
have
like,
that.
Like, what are we doing? Similar putt to the last, just
I was gonna say probably a little less break. This for me would be like a ball.
Yeah, I think that seems right. Kind of rolling through here. So like sometimes on shorter putts, I trust my eyes that like I've hit a million putts. So like if I was standing right here just trying to make it, like I would start at just left of center. From here, I'd probably go like on the edge or just outside.
So almost reading it in reverse.
Yeah, just like helps me feel like the putt's shorter than it actually is.
Very nice. All right, 2 red.
2 for 2.
Let's get it going. I'm feeling something low, Jake. It gets a little narrow there. This is 250, but again, it's 450. So if you're feeling good with driver, or maybe, what are you thinking here? Like over the right side of that bunker?
Yeah, we can get driver. Yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, listen, we want to shoot the lowest score possible.
I like it. Okay. I like it. So I have like some different driver swings though. Like I have like, you know, full send driver. I have like choke down and all that sort of stuff.
So what will you hit here?
I'll hit a little bit more of like a fairway finder for me.
So what's the adjustment that you make to hit that shot?
I choke up a little bit, aim a little bit more left. The feel for me is like I take it outside a little bit more, and like, you know, if I were imagining anything, like I just imagine I'm hitting like down on the outside of the ball. So like it should produce that little like squeeze cut.
Low cutter.
So increases spin a little bit, launches lower. You know, it's always been like a kind of a comfort shot for me that I feel like, you know, when I'm hitting that thing well in the 14 holes, even if I'm hitting driver 14 times in a course, I'm probably still hitting that thing like 8, 9, 10
But that's
times.
Probably still one low 180s ball speed, right?
Yeah, it's like usually like 78 to 80.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's on a firmer course like this too, like it can roll out a lot. So sometimes it gets around similar number basically.
Right, I like it.
Oh, too much cut.
Sit down.
Sit. Little block. I mean,
Looked like it pitched on top.
Yeah, it got over it. It's just a little right. So like, you know, that's okay. Little swing flaw.
How much are you working on the swing like in the middle of the season?
I mean, I'm constantly working on it, to be honest. Like, I think for me, I usually tend to like, I'm always trying to like move the needle. So like for me, I like to shape it both ways for the most part. So
You're making the stats guys like throw up in their mouth.
What's that?
You're making the stats guys.
I know. I've just never been like a one window person. Like I'm a lot more like, you know, hooking it and cutting it. Like I grew up in a really short tree line, dog leg golf course. So you had to shape the ball a lot. Like the third hole is like 290 yards in a straight line to the green, but it's like a 90-degree dog leg. So you got to slice it. And the next one's like 340, but it's 45-degree dog leg to the left. So it's like you got to hook it. And so I just grew up like thinking that that's what you had to do. I wasn't just gonna hit like a 5-iron out to the right and then go hit something else and whatever. And I've always tried to make my practice like as tough as I can on myself, so when I get into a tournament, it feels easy.
So I want to ask you about that, because that's when I told you when I get bored, I hit like 3 9-irons where I'm looking, and I'm like, I got it.
Yep.
You gamify your practice?
For sure. So that's like the main thing I think that I really, with the tournament like stuff or tournament prep aside, with my stats guy like Corey, I really like is that he kind of builds my practice for me now a little bit, or at least gives me, like we just went through like our quarterly review of certain areas that are getting better, certain areas that maybe aren't as good. And I don't have a ton of data, I just have last year basically. But if there's like a certain distance range that I'm struggling with, or wedges or from the fairway.
So give me an example. Like what's been like struggling? What are you targeting right now?
Right now, like I've made improvements. Like last year I wasn't as good from like 125 to 175 as I thought I was. Like I thought that was always a strength, and last year I just, for whatever reason, wasn't very good. And so starting this year, that's been really, really good. The only distance gap that's gone down, like 0.1 something, whatever, has been like 200 to 250. And so that's like 5 and 4 iron basically for me, maybe a little bit of 5 wood, but and that's an area I knew I was struggling with, so I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like I'm well aware.
Felt it.
Yeah, like I'm well aware on some of these longer par threes, I haven't been hitting as solid, and so a little bit more intention into something like that, and then like random putting gaps, like for me from like 12 to 18 feet for whatever reason, or 12 to 20 feet, my pace hasn't been as good. So like we can look and see where all my misses are on some of those putts, and like there's just too many putts that are like just short of the hole basically from that distance. So it's like something as simple as doing a little bit more speed work and making sure we just get it there. But in terms of golf swing, like sometimes when you're looking at stats, it's easy just to be like, you're not hitting it good or not doing this. But sometimes it's like, oh, maybe it's a club switch, or maybe you did switch something and like, hey, that switch is not working out, or maybe it is. So like one thing I've been trying to kind of figure out and get more dialed in is a 4-iron that's like a little bit bigger, easier to hit, goes a little bit higher, and just something that I feel like I don't have to like work hard to hit basically.
It's a good par 3 club.
Yeah, like there's just a ton of shots, on shorter par 5s I usually have that like 230 number into a green. So there's just a lot of shots that fall in that bubble that would be nice to just feel more comfortable over, because there's certain distances that everybody has that they're like licking their chops over, and there's other ones where they're just like, man.
Do you have a wedge number where you're like, this is it, baby? I'm going right at it.
I kind of have like a wedge swing. Like I work on a little bit of a clock system.
Oh, so Bryson status.
Somewhat. I mean, mine's very different. Like now I've used it for so long that like mine's not really a clock. It's more about like where my hands are in relation to like my body. So it's like bottom of my chest, shoulders, top of my head, that sort of thing. So it's a little bit.
With your backswing, I was going to say the clock system. You might you have like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 9 o'clock to me has never been 9 o'clock. Like my 9 o'clock feel is most people's like 10:30.
Right.
So that's why the clock system didn't make sense. And I also play with a bent left arm, so I never understood like, oh, if I play with a bent left arm, like am I talking about like the direction of shoulder to elbow or elbow to wrist? So like it didn't make sense. So I changed the system like early on last year, and like my wedges immediately improved, and it was pretty substantial. So I try to be mindful of what the stats say, but then also what you feel is important. So
do you always practice with a launch monitor then?
For the most part, yeah. I have days where I just go like have should be right here.
Where is it? Oh, word.
I have days where I'll basically like only be focusing on a swing movement. So like for me, like the one thing is like we've worked on my like where my head goes. Like my head tends to like go back and down a little bit. So trying to stay a little bit more centered. So I'll have days where I just hit a couple hundred balls where I just don't let my head move. Man, this got just down here in a hurry.
I got 102.
102.
Does that sound right with the eyeballs? You said you're a depth perception guy?
Sounds right.
You say you don't trust anyone.
I'll trust you.
Trust but verify?
Yeah, I'll trust but verify.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Because I also want to know what the cover is on that bunker. So
this is where it might actually help in a tournament, the rangefinders.
Yeah.
Not like, having to walk it off.
When you're offline and like there's no sprinkler heads around you, courses are really inconsistent with like, how far did you say it was?
102.
Okay.
Is that what you got also?
Yeah. Okay. The courses we play, one for one. The courses we play are like, they're well marked, but some of them there's just not as many sprinkler heads, so they're not as well marked. So it will be nice, like if
what is that? I want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little decade chart type thing?
Yeah, it's our
Tour
chart.
IQ, yeah. Sorry, I'll say it again. This is your Tour IQ chart?
So like this is based on like, you know, if the pin's like a red light, yellow light, green light, that's basically how many paces you're going to aim away from the edge of the green based on like how bad the short-sided miss is. If that makes sense?
Yeah, so...
Yeah. So like if it's
125 and there's a hazard left, as close as you'll get is 10 yards to the end of the green.
That's your target. Target's 10 yards off the edge of the
30
green.
feet.
Yeah.
So if the pin is 5 off the left, you're going to aim 5 yards right of it.
Yeah.
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 Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So what is this one?
So I mean this one I'm looking at the wedge numbers. These are my wedge numbers down here. So bottom, chest, shoulder, 10 o'clock, stock. Those are like just my 4 hole numbers, and then I work off of those. So like we have 102, gonna land it short. So it's like somewhere around a 57 degree shoulder shot.
Or you could do the other one, but you like you don't want to hit the
53.
You don't want to hit, like, that's too off speed.
53 is just with this tree, and that if anything, this lie is gonna want it to come out a little bit lower with a wedge like that.
Got it.
So I want a little bit more height, so I don't have to worry.
56 shoulder-ish.
Yeah, and then I would say, you know, and then you like, so if that's 94 and that's 9 yards short, then like we're probably a little bit into the wind. Like I work off of like quote unquote like energy into the ball. So like 8 out of 10 effort, 9 out of 10 effort, that sort of thing. So like if most of my wedges are an 8 energy, then like I might give this just a tad more because we're into the wind and this is going to spin a good amount.
Okay, so 8.5 energy.
Yeah, 90, like a shoulder 56, and then I mean I have a lot of stuff. Like I'll widen my stance if I want to hit it a few yards farther. I'll narrow my stance if I want to hit it a few yards shorter. It's just a whole.
You got a lot going on up there.
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot more up here than blonde hair.
Ooh, it did come out low.
Yeah. See. All right.
Just roll right of it.
High, yeah.
What have you noticed the biggest difference between Corn Ferry courses and big tour courses?
There's penalty on PGA Tour courses.
Yeah.
Like there's some tough Corn Ferry courses that we play.
Well, I remember you guys the one you play in Indiana looked like the hardest course in America.
It's brutal. Yeah. Like it's one of the few that we play that actually has like really thick rough. Red ants, careful. Has thick rough, like decently narrow fairways, like undulation change, dog legs, blind shots, a lot of water. Like it's just a really good golf course. Like we always say, that course, Ohio State's golf course,
Scarlet course.
Those are like the tests of like, you know, these are getting you way more tour ready. Like those could host tour events, no problem.
But like the one they're playing this week, everyone it's like 600 cut.
I mean, remember there's no rough. The fairways are 100 yards wide.
When we did your event at Glen Club,
yeah,
it was like 600 cut.
Yeah, Glen Club's like, it's funny, like that place you can get into trouble so easily when it gets windy, but like if you keep it in play off the tee, a lot of those holes, like the pins, everything filters towards the pin, it feels like.
Well, funnel season.
Yeah, so it's like, that's not a place where I hit a lot of drivers because like you're really just keeping it in between the mounds and then you just have a bunch of wedges. So the par 3s are really good. The finishing stretch is awesome. Like that 17th
par
hole
3, yeah,
is really, really good. But sometimes it's tough when you play a course that like doesn't have a lot of trouble and then you set up to this like 190-yard par 3 into the wind, water left.
You're just not ready for it.
Yeah, you're like, wow, this is a bit of a shock.
Where did this come from?
So
that ended up pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, so much of golf is distance control, I feel like.
For sure.
Like that was probably well right of where you were looking.
Yeah.
But it's the right number and it's probably what, 15 feet?
Yeah, exactly. As Tiger always said, just getting it pin high. It's like the best players in the world are pin high.
Ooh, that was
not your best.
Not my best.
Okay.
That was high left.
I always give my caddy crap because he'll hate me for this, but he sometimes struggles catching it, and he's a big baseball guy.
Just the hand-eye's not there?
Sometimes, like he says, he's like, sometimes when you think about catching it, you have a tougher time catching it.
Yeah,
like,
it's an athletic motion.
If you just react, no problem. And like, there was a few times where he'd try to catch it in the towel, but like his mind doesn't really know and it's like, it's really, really funny. Some guys freaking whip it.
Rifle it?
Caddies. Like, I am not that guy. I usually shoot it to him like a basketball. So a little more break.
Yeah, I got it kind of over the right edge of this old cup. Is that not enough break, you think?
We'll see. I mean, this is feeling like it's sniffing a 3, but we're gonna give it just less for slower greens. So you had it over that?
I had it over kind of the right side of that old cup. Looks like a lot from here though.
Yeah, it's like, should start just right of that. And then the second half, it should snap down pretty good.
Yeah, it gets quick past the hole.
Yeah. But I like that. That's a good eye.
It's on my first rodeo.
I mean, we'll see if it's a good eye. I mean, also have to hit it online. That's the other thing. And second half should break.
Oh,
you lit.
High lip. You hit the good putt, huh?
Yeah, it was a good putt. We'll blame that on something else other than me.
What was that stat? It was like 30% of perfect putts don't go in.
Yeah, have you ever seen that thing they do with a perfect putt?
Yeah, it's really depressing.
Yeah,
if I was you,
tough.
as a professional golfer, that would give me nightmares.
That's why, like, you can control what you can control. Whatever else happens, like, you know, you do your best to commit what you're trying to do, as long as, like, that's what, you know, you want to go to sleep at night knowing that you did everything you could and not leaving any, like, what if.
Okay, interesting little hole here.
Seems like a lot of funkiness going on.
A lot of funkiness.
We're going to call in Google Earth for this one.
I think it's a Google Earth one.
All right, let's see what we got.
It's 240 to carry that bunker. And then it looks like on the left it gets a little bit short. There's way more room on the right.
So, yeah, the fairway is like a double fairway from 270 to like 315. And then all of a sudden, so here's my issue with my driver. Like, that's right, we're going to fly it at 326, 330.
Imagine having that issue where you just fly at 326. I don't
But at the same time, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to see how far that is. It's 50 yards. I trust myself to hit a 50-yard bunker shot.
You like the send here?
If it happens to get up there in this dirt somewhere, it's fine. But
kind of the right half of that, like just right of where the bunker's at its highest.
Yeah, I think.
See that V tree right of it?
V tree. Like the little U tree, like the little cutout left of the green?
Yeah, like there's a guy in the distance to the right of him.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So like, you can see the pin. Do you like the pin, or are you saying just left of that?
I cannot see the pin, but that might be my color blindness.
So if you see the tree line in the distance, there's a tree way out there to the right that's kind of flat top and drops straight down. The pin's right on the left edge of that.
I like a little left of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Right?
So in between that and then like the little Christmas tree out to the left, basically splitting those two.
There we go. That was better.
Yeah, it's just taking the wind a little bit left. Sit.
You think it's in that bunker?
No, I think, whoa, big cup. Nah, I don't know. We'll find
out.
It's a little bit left.
So I know you said that you were like, from 6
there.
years old, you were playing tournaments. Were you a big like watch golf history guy?
Yes and no. Like I loved watching for the most part, but not really. I wasn't like a sit still well person. Like I played every sport growing up, so like I usually wasn't really inside watching too much. Like if Tiger was in contention, obviously we were always locked into that. But I've never been the biggest historian or the best at remembering all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, the reason I asked was like, did you watch Rory last week?
So I made it a point not to watch anything or have anything to do with last week until probably the last, like, basically the back nine.
Because it just hurt not playing?
Yeah, I was upset about it. So, you know, I didn't play great at the second half of last year, and then I played like okay at the start of this season, but you know, I want to play in that, and after experiencing it once and like, you know, you get the first time under your belt, and like now I feel like I know, you know what to expect and all that sort of stuff, not only with the Masters, but just with like tour life in general. So yeah, of course I wanted to be there playing, so it just, you know, not to say playing in it ruined the Masters for me, because like every other year leading up to it, I would sit down, and the Masters is the one tournament I actually would sit down and watch all of it.
Yeah.
And then this year I didn't watch any, with exception to while I was practicing on Sunday, which for anybody that doesn't know, the best time to go to a golf course is Sunday afternoon during the Masters.
It's probably empty.
There's 0 people there. So I was at Whisper Sunday, just beating balls in the back of the range. And then when I saw my group text going off about everything, I just put a headphone in and I listened to the back nine while I just went and practiced and played.
You've played with him in a couple tournaments, right?
Yeah.
Is it just like, I mean, I know, like you said, you're not the biggest history buff, but is there part of you that's like, I'm playing with an all-time great right now?
1000%. Yeah. I mean, especially because like, I didn't like, you know, it's not that like getting on tour was like a quick thing or out of nowhere or whatever, but at the same time, it's like to go from playing in, Canadian Tour events a year and a half prior to then all of a sudden playing with Rory McIlroy, like, was a little bit of a shell shock. But that being said, it was also, compared to everything else I was doing, like that week or dealing with the week before, that was like the most calm I was.
It was right after you won.
Yeah. Like that was the most, because like, you know, you're doing press conferences and everybody wants you to do this and that, whatever. And then when I finally got to hit the first tee shot, it was like, oh, like, this is nice. I get to just go play golf now. Like, so it was like the easiest part. And we had a really good conversation the entire time. Like, he was great to me. He said
some nice things about you that week.
Yeah, he did. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. And like now, you know, I wouldn't say we're close friends by any means, but like we'll sit, have lunch, and we'll chat. And yeah, he's been great to me.
When you play with those guys, you know, have you played with Scottie?
I haven't yet.
Okay, but you've played with Rory, and I'm sure you've played with, you know, a lot of these other top guys.
Mm-hmm.
What sticks out about their game where you're like, okay, I need to get to that level?
I mean, overall, like, just circumference of golf shots is usually just a little bit tighter.
The misses,
yeah, like misses are just tighter. Like, they just tend to hit it in smaller windows, and then, you know, they just never seem to hit like two bad shots in a row, almost ever. And they don't really ever go on like bad stretches for the most part. Like, there's always like the outliers of like certain times when this and that happened, but like for the most part, like everything's just so solid. And like you can also tell like their expectation is they hold themselves to a very high standard. Like, especially Rory, it's like, you know, he hits a certain iron shot from like 190 yards to like 22 feet, and he's just like, dang, like, you know. And it's like, I mean, like, statistically, that's a really good shot. Like, there's a lot of people who would love to hit that. But yeah, I just think overall consistency and just like hitting it solid, and like no real weak points. Like, obviously he had a couple like poor wedge shots on Sunday, but like even he was talking about how nervous he was on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows.
Well, I mean, trying to complete the career Grand Slam.
Yeah, like there's so much, and like as much as you try to like eliminate that stuff and get it out of your head, like when people ask like, oh, what would I shoot, you know, at Augusta if I'm a Skratch golf, whatever, and it's like, that's so impossible. Like, if you're gonna go out there,
wouldn't even be able to grip the club.
Yeah, if you're gonna go out there by yourself, like, and there's nobody there, then that's maybe one thing. But if you're gonna be playing in that environment, you have no chance in shooting anything halfway decent.
Yeah. Yeah, the nerves are a real thing.
Yeah.
Well, we got some shaping to do.
All right.
So we got 75 flag. I've got 63 front edge.
63, 75. That's pretty perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. 75.
Will you have to fight something to kind of keep it below this branch, or it should be fine?
I mean, I'll be mindful of it, but
yeah.
I don't have to worry too much. I mean, realistically, it kind of looks like one of those where we don't want this flying too far. It kind of flattens out towards the hole.
Yeah.
So I'd probably rather have it like land just on and then skip back there.
I like that.
So 63 you said, right?
63 was
75,
front, yeah.
Yeah.
Big hop. Big hop. Kind of chewed into the hill a little bit.
Yeah, I thought it would get a little more skippy.
I like that low one though.
Yeah, that was nice.
I feel like that's one thing also that I see when people ask me like the difference between pros and good amateurs is like, I feel like you guys hit a lot of lower wedge shots.
Yeah.
Like a lot of good amateurs, they just throw it way up in the air.
Yeah, that was something I worked with a different coach for a little while when I was on Corn Ferry the first time. And that was one thing that he said is like, I literally couldn't flight a wedge. We were hitting balls out of like outside of like a garage, or like, you know, basically in a hitting bay, I should say. And he like closed the door like halfway.
You're just dinging it?
And he's like, here, get it out. And I was just like, yeah, no problem. And I go to like, and I'm hitting off a mat, so it's like a little different, but at the same time, I'd like go to de-loft this thing and hit it and just bang, and just like bang around the room. He's like, try again. And I'm like, oh my God, like, how do you do this? And then, you know, he showed me with a couple or whatever, and I got it down pretty quick, but it was like, wow, that's like a shot I really don't have enough to, especially hit on a course. Like, if I wanted to hit it low, I'd just take more club and chip it.
Right.
Like, I didn't have the option to hit that. Like, that situation right there, I would have just taken like a 56 and just kind of hoped for the best.
There's just not much bad that can happen when it's tight like that.
Yeah. I mean, that usually means you have like less moving parts, like your hands are usually really stable. All right, not as close as we'd like, but
still a look.
Yeah.
We just wanted to work on your, 18 to 25 feet.
Yeah, that 12 to 18 mark.
That's speed.
Work on a little bit of speed. So far, so good. Slightly uphill. Slightly left to right for the most part, or what are you seeing?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to come off that bunker, at least in the beginning.
Yeah, this part does not feel like much.
I think it's pretty straight at the hole, and maybe even might even try to kind of
trying to almost go the other way.
Almost go the other way. I would probably play it like 2 balls.
2 balls.
What do you think?
Let's see, I'll tell you. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. I think maybe just inside that, just because this first part, you're hitting it hard enough.
Right, the ball is going to kind of race through it.
Yeah, it should kind of go through it for the most part. But I think just outside of ball is pretty good. I'm gonna give it that 2 ball. We'll see how we're looking. Oh, got him.
Oh, what?
I thought it was short. Not gonna lie.
They're getting crispy.
Not gonna lie.
Nice putt.
Thank you.
Keep it going, baby.
Good read.
Let's keep it going. All right, it's 256 to carry that in the middle, and it's a short hole. Might be a Google Earth job, but it feels like not driver, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like it pinches kind of awkwardly. Let's see. It's actually, it seems so much wider.
Well, this makes it look like a field.
It makes it look huge, and I feel like I get up on all these holes, and I'm like, oh, there that desert is.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. Yeah, we can kind of just hit driver up there.
If you want to hit driver up there, I mean, it does get narrow, but if you like it.
Might as well.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to think. Actually, this is just gonna, we'll go mini.
Mini?
Yeah.
I've been waiting for the mini.
Yeah, we'll go mini dog. You can always.
How long have you had the mini dog in the bag?
I put, the first one I ever had was back in Corn Ferry, like the middle of the season-ish, like kind of June of 23, I guess that would have been. And then I switched to this one at the end of last season. This one, like the PXG just sits like a little bit flatter to the ground. It's more of a big 3-wood rather than a small driver.
Got it.
It's easier to hit off the ground for me. And
so you do hit it off the ground?
Oh yeah.
Into par 5s and stuff?
Yeah. I can get plenty of height on it, even though I don't off the tee. But
should be good, right?
Yeah. Right at that bunker.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
Should sprint forever.
That's gonna go a long way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, driver, even if it lands just short, it's just gonna roll.
It's just gonna roll and roll and roll. Yeah. Your driver's probably rolling out like a good 350 today.
Yeah, that's the difference too. Like Whisper Rock right now is little wet fairways, like that just keep everything green and healthy. So it's like getting mud balls and everything hits and sticks, and you forget that most of the courses right now are getting
super
dry and fast.
Yeah. So there was a video that came out. It was like that all you do is like gym, golf.
Yep.
Repeat.
Pretty accurate.
So give me like a normal, like yesterday.
So I actually very recently / these 2 weeks kind of changed my routine. I work out in the morning now.
You didn't used to?
No, always worked out at night, like forever. And I still will, but like I kind of enjoyed it because I'm not 22 anymore and I can't just like wake up and go play golf. I have to actually get my body like prepped and ready. And then I don't really do the workouts that I used to do where they're, you know, destroying every fiber and whatever tissue I'm working on that day. It's a lot more like full body stuff, make sure it's, you know, I'm still lifting during off weeks a good amount and during tournament weeks, but it's a lot more about like, how do I make sure I don't keep injuring myself and stay healthy and ready to go?
You were doing more like squats and bench and all that?
Like whatever you would, if you YouTube bodybuilding workout, that's what I was doing for the last 10 years, 15 years, whatever it is.
Deadlifts and all that?
Yeah, deadlift, squat. Like I would just do a very simple split for the most part. I'd do like chest, back, shoulders, legs, and just repeat and like not really take a day off. So it was not super fantastic. But I mean, I did it for a long time and I love it. Like if I could, I would still do it. I just, you know, my body's just starting to like tell me no.
You notice the difference?
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah. Like I've had back
in the last
issues
like few years?
Yeah. I mean, I think I've noticed a difference in like, number one, I think I got too heavy and my body didn't really like carrying the weight. So then it put more stress on certain things that couldn't move or weren't as mobile. So now that I'm doing these workouts, I feel like my body's able to like move a lot more free. Whereas before I felt a little more constricted and certain things had to like hinge and bend because there was either muscle in the way or like my body wasn't limber enough to move. So now it's like lost a little bit weight and then feel overall just like healthier, stronger.
So you had to get like a fitness guy to help you like design new things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started working with a guy, worked with somebody last year and then somebody else this year, a couple guys this year who just have me on like a little better plan and like just feeling good too.
Like it's all like rotational shit.
Somewhat, not really. I mean, like there's still like, like I still do like 3 or 4 supersets of actual lifts. So I'll do squats, I'll do a bench press, I'll do like a row, I'll do all that sort of stuff, but it's more full body every day rather than just focusing on chest for 2 hours and then that's it, and then afterwards, like
probably less soreness too, or
a little bit, yeah, like a lot more well-rounded. It's like my body just feels like warmed up and solid. I'll feel sore the next morning. Like right now, like legs are feeling it a little bit from yesterday, but like nothing crazy. Whereas if I did a leg workout, it was like brutal for like 3 days after, and then
you can't have that plan on tour.
I can't, and I tried. I did for a little too long. But yeah, so like my normal day now, like I'll wake up, I'll go train in the morning, and I do it also because it's on the way to the course. So
how long are we talking?
It's usually like realistically an hour 15 from the time I like get there to leave. And then I bring my clothes and everything with me and usually a shake. So then I drive up to the course, usually shower at the course, get changed, then start with normal practice. So I'll usually do short game and putting to start for quite a while.
Couple hours?
Yeah, like usually, the other day I was chipping for a very long time just because there was stuff I had to finish. And so it's like chip until you're done. It was like, one of the stats that showed that like a little decrease this year was like short-sided chipping from the fairway, which can be like a little bit skewed for the courses we played at the start of the year because like you think about Sawgrass or some of the places you play early, like those low areas short-sided
you're dead.
Suck.
Yeah.
So it's not like when people think short-sided from the fairway, it's not like level ground 12-yard pitch, oh you suck at those. It's like, no, it's like a flop shot from an awful lie or trying to putt it like up a big mound, like that sort of stuff. So I worked on those, but it was like 5 balls from like random areas to 3 different pins, and you got to make all 5 from random spots. So,
you mean make it in the hole?
Yeah.
So you did that, you chipped.
Yeah.
So you worked out, then you chipped.
Chipped for a long time, then went and putt for a long time, but a lot more like structured putting stuff. So like making sure like setup's good, making sure line's set up, a little bit of speed work, and then went and hit balls for a while. Then went in and had lunch, and then came back out, did more like full process putting. So like 18 holes of random length putts like my stat guy gives me, usually based on each week. If it's a course where you're hitting to 30 feet all day, you're going to have more putts from like 20 to 40 feet. If it's a course where you're hitting a lot of wedges, maybe it's more like 8 to 15 feet. Mm-hmm. So did one of those games, then went back and hit more balls, and then went out and played 9 holes with like a few balls out there.
It's like prime Tiger schedule.
Yeah.
So you're at the golf course from like 9 to...
Probably like 9:30, 10 o'clock until 6:30, something like that.
And then you go home.
Go home, eat a meal, take a shower, play video games until midnight, and go to sleep.
Are you not concerned? Like, cause I'm a big soccer fan.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a manager. He was doing an interview,
mm-hmm.
and he was saying that it's a big problem. He was saying that these guys play video games and it fries their brain a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I would say for sure. I think for me, it's like a reward for a day's work in a sense. Like I don't play during the day. Like if I'm taking a day off, for sure. Like I'll see if some of my buddies can play or something like that, and I'll jump on. But for the most part, like we have a group of us that just go play every night before we go to bed, and jump on, chit chat. And
what do you play?
Call of Duty or Apex usually.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good at Call of Duty. Not as good at Apex, but got some buddies that are good. So.
A true. I was gonna say Gen Z, but you're not quite Gen Z.
Nah, just old enough.
All right, 59. It's only 54 front, so.
Okay.
We try to give this a little height because you want to land it on the green.
Yes and no. I mean, I think for the most part, I'll open it up a little bit and make sure it has a little bit more spin, but I won't necessarily try to like hoist it too much. I'll kind of just let the loft do that. So
yeah.
To answer your question, yes, but I won't really manipulate it too much.
Get a good hop now. Yeah, go in.
Oh yeah.
Great shot. That was a little bit of an aggressive go in.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have burned the go in there.
That's okay.
You know,
we'll maybe use one later.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got a little excited. Shipley like lipped out last time, and I almost had a heart attack on the golf course. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I love that guy. He's playing in the Lecombe Suncoast. You play that?
I did. I played that. So I played by myself on Saturday. I was like basically the last guy to make the cut. And what was it? I teed off Sunday. I played well Saturday. I shot like 7 under or something, or 6 under. So I got into like the middle of the field, 20 something, 30 something. And so the leaders were going to go off when I was on like 13 or something like that, or maybe like through 9. And I shot, I don't remember exactly. I shot like 9 under or something like that.
So you got hot on the weekend.
Yeah. So I played nice. That was like the story of my Korn Ferry year. I'd like make the cut by a few, and then like we just went and played really solid over the weekend, and had a bunch of weekends where I'd shoot like, I don't know, 10 to 14 under on the weekend, and like.
But the thing about the Korn Ferry is like you finish early and then you watch yourself move down. Where I feel like it's
PGA
cool.
Tour, you stay.
That's
like,
what's so nice. I feel like, or even if you're playing like Bay Hill,
for sure,
and it's like super hard, you post early 2 under,
shoot 4 or 5 under.
Your T9, and then you finish like T4.
Well, that's why the 3 and 3 start on weekends suck. Like the 3 and 3 start, like because you get no opportunity as somebody in the middle of the field to go and post something. Everybody's kind of playing at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's like, whereas like if you're 6 shots back and you're already tied with the lead, and those guys are 3 holes in and you're 12 holes in.
Wind's starting to kick up.
Yeah, you go post like at the Players this year. You go post a number. Like it was.
Yeah.
It was not easy playing.
That's got to be the best feeling in the world when you're done and you refresh and you're just moving up and moving up and moving up.
And I mean that's like that's the other side to it though, for like the PGA Tour versus Korn Ferry. Like if you get a week where the cut's kind of easy, like that cut line usually goes from like 2 to 3 to 4 pretty quick. Like Korn Ferry, if like you're kind of on the cut line with 20 guys on the course, like everybody gets kind of nervous, like that cut line might have a chance to kind of stay.
Let's keep it going. More birdies.
More, please. How many holes is that? What are we?
That's
4, 5, 6?
I think we're 4, 5. 4 through 5.
All right.
I like it. So what are you thinking here? It's straight downwind.
Yeah, it's 215. I mean, this really is just gonna go a mile.
Feels
215.
Like 7,
probably want to land at like 208. I think we can probably get away with a 90 shot.
Just a good full 7-iron?
Yeah, good. Just like hold it a little bit. Hopefully let the wind kind of hold it up and get it to fall a little right towards the end. That's the 8-yard pole that goes to the left side of the green.
Sit down.
All right.
It's going forever.
That's still snap. Oh my God.
I still see it.
That was a tough thing in college. Like usually when you show up to some of these universities events, like they're hosting at their, on campus basically golf course that they play every day.
Yeah.
And then we'd host our golf course at Cordoval that we played, 3 rounds in September before school started or something like that.
That's up north, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like we hosted at Cordoval twice. We hosted at Pelican Hill in Newport once, and then the other time at La Costa down there as well.
Well, I'm doing this college series now where I go to like the best. We did Auburn in Texas.
Yeah.
It's just like, no disrespect to
oh my gosh.
I don't know why would you not go to like
a
school that has their own golf course and their own
100%.
Like Auburn was like, Joe, those kids don't even pretend that they go to school.
Yeah.
Like
I
that's
mean,
what Omar was telling me.
UCLA's hard.
He was like, I have to go to school.
Yeah, like dude, it's hard. Like I barely got through. I mean, I didn't graduate, but like I was barely passing.
You didn't graduate?
No, I left early. Yeah, I left. I went back for the start of my senior year, and I played that like fall start or whatever, and then I turned pro at the start of the new year.
Because you were just winter. Like, I don't need the degree's not going to do anything for me.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, I wasn't going to graduate technically unless I took summer classes going into my senior year. I wasn't going to graduate on time. Like I was allowed to walk because I had enough credits, but I wasn't going to technically get my diploma. So I would have had to even take more classes after. And I was like,
0% chance.
There's no way. And so, I considered like maybe, or not considered. I thought about like, oh man, during COVID would have been a great time to take like a few online courses and crack out a few credits. But I just like, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it someday.
Did your dad hammer you for that at all?
Not really.
No.
Like they understood. they knew at a very early age how much I loved golf and like how much I was willing to put into it. Like, it's not like they were supporting me as a kid who like would just sit inside all day and practice when I was told to. It was like they had to tell me to leave the golf course. So
yeah,
they knew it was what I wanted to do. They were willing to support me, and like I moved back in at home for, 3 years, 4 years, something like that, or 3 years after I turned pro.
We were opposites, dude. When I started to like try to take it seriously when I was like 16.
Yeah.
And then I got my license. And I would just like smoke weed with my girlfriend and go to the beach every day. I would lie about where I was, all that. So it was before they could track you with your phones.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I was like, yeah, I'm at Brentwood.
Yeah.
No, I was just in Venice.
I was gonna say I didn't have an iPhone until my freshman year in college, and I was like, yeah, it was just trust.
Yeah.
But honestly, like what we would do, like I had a group of like 4 or 5 buddies in high school that we all met when we were freshmen, basically. Or one of them, or 2 of them were older, and the other 2 were like 8th grade freshmen, and like we just started hanging out every day. So like we just go to the course all day, hang out, practice, and then like we'd go spend the night at somebody's house, and we'd wake up next morning at 6 a.m. and go to a public course and play. Like nobody was members anywhere or anything like that. So we just bounced around like Mile Square, Costa Mesa, Metal Arc, like all these different places.
Did you play like a pretty good amateur schedule? Were you into like the Western and all that stuff?
Yeah, I played the Western Am. We usually like I tried not
Northeast
to travel,
and all that.
Yeah, like we didn't have a ton of money to go travel to like every tournament across the country. So it was like we usually picked a couple that were out of state. So I'd go to like maybe like a AJGA Invitational in like Texas or something like that, because we kind of got told like, hey, if you're just the best player in California, like schools are going to notice.
Hell yeah.
So like if you just go win tournaments in California, like that's the best competition you can get. And so my parents were like, well, why don't we just do that? Like, and I was all on board. I was
Are you
like,
Toyota Tour Cup killer?
Oh yeah.
I used to play Toyota Tour Cup.
So like I played a bunch of those.
Tuckwet Canyon.
Tuckwet, yeah.
That was everything.
So
Beaumont, it had like 4 different names.
Well, so I went out there originally when it was Beaumont. We would go out there in the afternoons because it was super windy, and my dad, like, was smart. He would take us out there when we were little kids, and it would be super windy, super tough. Kids played free after like 1 o'clock as long as an adult played. And so like we'd go drive. It was like an hour and 15 minutes from our house, and we'd go drive and do that in the summer and like go play at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it would just be brutal. Like
yeah, and then you get the tournament, so you'd be fine.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was just the ultimate test, but it was awesome.
It's kind of gently moving left the whole way.
Yeah, I think it's sneaky got like a little right in it at the beginning is what I felt. But since I'm hitting it, I don't think it's going to actually move it right, and then it should just go left that second half. So this is where
What is that thing? You keep doing that.
For my thing, you stand 3 feet behind it if it's a putt outside 6 feet.
So is that a 36-inch putter?
34 and a half or whatever. So like I usually just give it, finger or 2 width behind, which gives me the same spot. Now it's just, I do it every time now, but yeah, it was just like the easiest way to make sure you're standing in the same spot. Just consistency, Oh, a little low. Sit. Good speed though.
Really good speed. That's a stroke game positive putt right there.
For sure. We'll take those. We like kick-ins. Do we do gimmies on this channel, or
Nope.
Full on? Never met a putt I can't make.
I never really played gimmies growing up.
Yeah, I didn't really.
My dad was a super, like, he's like a lifelong 8 handicap.
Yeah.
And every round's like
every
round's like the US Open.
Everything counts. Yeah.
And every time I would complain to him, he's like, just make it. Pretty straight away. But see, it looks so wide, but it gets narrow. This thing is misleading.
She's narrow.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hit the mini out there. We're gonna get her in play.
I like the same shot as the last par 4.
Yep, agreed. Give ourselves shortish iron, wedge.
Kind of off that bunker.
Yeah, it seems like that left edge of the green side bunker seems pretty good.
Yeah, I like that. That little tree.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's sexy. That's the one right there.
That is.
Woo! the apex on that's probably like 20.
Not high.
Yeah,
25 feet.
25 maybe.
Yeah. I hit one. I've been working on it more with like my 5-wood to hit that shot, and I hit one on course that like launched a 5-wood at like 2 degrees, and I was like, man, that's nice. I was like, if I can keep that going.
I mean, that shot right there, that's British Open all day.
Yeah. That's why I need to get in. I'm gonna play the Scottish this year. I didn't play the Scottish last year since I wasn't in the British.
You're in the Scottish for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not signature,
any
right?
full status member. Yeah.
What did you finish like 52nd?
Yeah.
Were you pressing the end of the year?
I was trying. I honestly I didn't want to talk about it or like get it out there a lot. Like my shoulder was just so messed up and didn't feel good, and I just wasn't feeling like myself. And so.
What was the issue?
Just like labrum issues and torn things.
Did you get surgery?
No, I did no surgery. Just did a bunch of rehab and took some time off, and no, it feels awesome now. I haven't had any issues. Like there's still workout stuff and certain movements that I don't like, but like I can swing a golf club pain-free, which is
it's important.
A dream. Yeah, because it was just wear and tear.
Overhead press is a little tough for you?
Yeah, exactly. No overhead presses, no behind the head tricep presses, none of that stuff. So, but yeah, I just, body was kind of hurting, and I think mentally I was a little exhausted and just like didn't play well at the end of the season. It was a bummer because I wanted to, obviously, wanted to finish top 50 or top 30 and all that sort of stuff.
Did you need something at Castle Pines like you needed to play well together?
I didn't get into, I played Memphis, so I took a few.
Oh yeah, that was top 50, the second one.
Yeah. So I played, so top 70 was Memphis, and like I don't remember what I needed to finish. Like I think it was, I probably missed by like 5-6 shots, something like that. I didn't play well at Memphis either, but I had taken like a few weeks off prior to like try and get myself ready, but just wasn't meant to be. But all in all, like think about that season, and it's kind of like Rory said, like going into the playoff, like if you would have taken this on Monday, it's like if you would have told me I finished 52nd in my rookie season on tour, like I would have taken it.
Yeah.
So.
And won.
Yeah, and won. And it's like, yeah, I would have taken it if I missed every cut and won one golf tournament. Like I played to win golf tournaments. Like as much as being consistent and all that stuff is super fantastic, I'd rather.
So that brings me to my next question. That's a nice segue.
Yeah.
59, the week you shoot 59.
Yep.
A lot of talk about that shenanigans in the water.
Of course.
You don't regret it. You would have done it again.
100%. Yeah.
Because you were playing to win.
Yeah. Oh, that stuff, and are you saying, or that's the question? Like asking about that?
Yeah, like when you like left 2 in the drink, kind of.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I 100% would have done it again. Like, that second shot's hard. It's like probably one of the tougher second shots, especially on that back 9. I mean, there's just a lot of tough second shots, but you have to get the number right. Like the wind's tough to judge because that hole, the wind's like it's right to left, but it's really hard to tell if it's like slightly in or slightly down. You can't really miss long. It's just, you can. It's just a very tough up and down. And then obviously if you come up a little bit short, it's maximum penalty. And like, unfortunately, I'd had like the same miss with my irons for like the previous week-ish, where I was just getting like a little steep and hitting them like low on the heel, just a tad, and they would just come out like a little dead and short right. And like to any normal pin, it's like with a pitching wedge, it's 20 feet short right, not the end of the world. And that pin, that's the one thing you can't do. And like, just kind of that same miss, just hit it like touch low in the face, came out a little short. And like, when it came to hitting that shot, like I could tell Mike like didn't really want me to hit it, but like, man, I could see 90% of the ball. I felt my foot under, and it really wasn't that bad. Like I'd never really hit a ball out of water like that submerged. Like I'd hit a couple that were like in muddy and whatever.
And that didn't scare you? Like, okay, I have a chance to win the golf tournament, I'm gonna try something new?
Not really. I mean, I felt like it was one of those scenarios where it's like, when you have a chance to win a golf tournament, like there's kind of those times where it's like, this could be the right choice, wrong choice, whatever it is. And like, listen, if I get that up and down and make par and win the golf tournament, it's like the best decision and best shot ever.
Right.
Obviously it doesn't go well, then it's like, okay, yeah.
But you weren't like kicking yourself after, like, man, I should have just taken the drop.
Like how I looked at it, like, cause literally when you look at that entire round, like I didn't make any putts that last round. Like I hit a lot of freaking good putts that just didn't go in, but I wore that place out. Like I hit every shot to like 25 feet and gave myself looks, seemed like all day. And that was my goal. Like playing with a little, not even a little bit of a lead. I mean, I had one shot or whatever, but like, I just tried to make it as stress-free as possible basically, and then press if we had to towards the end. But that course isn't really a course where there's like option A, option B. Like it's just about execution.
You just gotta hit the shot.
Yeah, it's like, let's, we all talked, like stats guy or Corey and Mike and I, we talked, and it was like, let's just keep plugging. Like I know I'm hitting it well. Like if anything, shift targets like a yard or two more conservative, and then just trust the putter's gonna be hot and like let it go. Cool. And so did that other than one hole.
All right, 100 even.
100 even. That's great.
I can't tell if there's any room on the green, like over the bunker short of the pin.
If I had to guess, looking at how high the left side is, I'm going to assume that it all kind of slopes down and to the right.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So, like I have that 94 shot, so I'll pretty much hit that. Landed a couple yards short.
Yeah, I like that one bounce.
Yeah, I should just kind of skip and probably realistically skip a couple times and stop. Whoa, go ball. That,
not the greatest shot I've ever seen.
It was quite firm ground, if I have to say so.
A little hard pan action?
Yeah.
It made kind of a funky sound.
It was a bit, felt like cart path, to be honest with you.
Some public golf, baby.
Yeah, we embrace that.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get. Have you always been like long off the tee? Always been fast?
Yeah, for the most part. Like I always swung like high percentage, like 98% to hit driver or whatever. Like I just always swung it as hard as I could for the most part. And then I was always small though. Like I was really undersized. Like as a kid, I was always, you know, number 2 on the basketball team or soccer team because I was the smallest jersey. And so I grew a bunch, like I shouldn't say a bunch, but to like normal height, like my maybe sophomore year. And that's when I started hitting it like not only far for my size, but then just like far in general. Because like my buddies talk about it, who I grew up with, like I was a short one in the group, kind of hit it short. And I was like, I looked like 4 years younger than them. And then once I grew, all of a sudden I'm hitting it 30 by them, and like, you know, just everything kind of fell into place from there.
That's a nice feeling when you just your body starts to cooperate.
Well, my brother's the exact opposite of me. My brother's 6'4", 6'5".
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was like 6 feet tall or 6'1" his like freshman year in high school, whereas I hit 5 foot my freshman year in high school.
Wow, you were really small.
Yeah, like I think my driver's license, when I originally got it, I was 5'9", 125.
Oh man.
So that was come a long way. Thank you.
Use the same mark all the time?
Funny story. If anybody's out there and knows where this is, I'll pay a handsome amount of money. At Memorial last year, we were gonna go putt after a practice round, and I was like, oh, you know, lunch is about to close, so I'm gonna go grab some lunch, just leave the bag here and we'll go up. So we go up, it starts raining, so my caddy runs out, grabs my bag and goes. We come back out to go putt, and my little valuables pouch, which was from Augusta, like a sweet little leather pouch that has, I only had 3 ball markers in there. One was my buddy's that he made me, or for his wedding, I was his best man, so he made it. Another, and then the other 2 were like personal markers that people had given me. The only 3 I've used in like 6 years, and it was gone.
Someone nicked it?
Yeah. So, not saying that somebody nicked it, I think it fell out or something when my caddy moved it, but it was never turned in or replaced.
Oh man.
So that's a touchy subject for me. It's a bit sad.
I didn't mean to bring that up. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I mean, hopefully somebody sees this and they're like, oh, I have the marker that says Jake Best Man on it. But
this is the nudge you need to return it.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know why anybody would want them. They're not really cool markers or expensive.
I think it was probably the Augusta pouch.
The Augusta pouch, I don't even care. They can have it. I mean, it's cool, but like, I care more about the stuff in it.
Yeah, it's sentimental.
Yeah, but no, now I use like a Whisper Rock coin because there's just a million of them at the club all the time. So
this has got some break at the end.
Yeah, this thing's swooping. It's just that. Oh yeah, we make these. Just drip it in that right side. Go. No. Not enough.
Speed issue there?
I mean, I technically, yeah, like could have been hit a little bit harder, but also could have been half cup higher.
150.
Really? 150. What's the cover on that bunker?
135.
So 150. I mean, into the wind, pretty much just land on the hole.
Thinking like 9 iron?
50, 44, probably
55 shot?
Yeah, it seems about right.
Wedge, 9 iron?
Definitely not wedge. I tend to hit a lot of club when it's into the wind. I spin the ball a lot. I don't play like a crazy low spin golf ball.
So you like to take some speed off it?
Yeah, and I'm already like a steep high spin guy anyway. Like I've been trying out different balls to see if I like the balls that actually like, you know, if I was getting fit for something, I'd probably get fit for a different ball that spins less. But like if I see a ball not spinning, like I just don't like it. I'd way rather have too much spin than not enough. So it is how far again? It's 50?
150 and then 35 carry on the bunker.
Okay. 150.
Got a little room both sides right at it?
Yeah, pretty much just dead at it. Maybe favor a yard left, but nothing crazy. Lost it. Maybe a little left?
Definitely a little left. Pretty similar.
Oh,
it's like,
man, that is way left.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
it was a pull for sure. You didn't see it. I didn't know if you were just like being sarcastic.
No, I didn't see it. It felt like my club got stuck in the ground after, so I always...
You always think that one's going left?
Well, yeah, for the most part, but I didn't think I pulled it that much. It's just hard to tell when you don't get.
Do you have that brush?
Yeah, it should be magnetic right here.
Oh yeah, there we go. Use on the 8th hole. Better late than never.
That's okay. Mike knows I love giving him crap. Sometimes after a bunker shot, there'll still be like a little bit of sand in the groove. I'll be like, hey, let me see that thing real quick.
So how are you? You feeling comfortable now with like the tour life and like? Cause I mean, it sounds like you've brought a lot of people on, so like you got to spend more money and stuff.
Yeah.
How's that been?
I mean, not my favorite. I'm a pretty like frugal-ish person, so I don't.
Well, you had a lot of lean years.
Yeah. So I'm not I don't spend that much money on myself. Like I spend money to make sure I have what I need, but like in terms of like indulging in things, not.
You didn't buy a car or anything?
I bought a car last year.
Okay.
Yeah. I owned a truck for a while, and then once I won Grant Thornton, I bought myself a little Christmas present, but nothing.
What'd you get?
Insane. I got a Dodge Demon 170.
Is that like a power muscle car?
Yeah, it's 1,025 horsepower and
that's it?
0 to 60 in 1.6.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's a rocket ship.
Yeah, it's a rocket ship. So I love that thing. I mean, I kid you not. I start that thing up, just makes me smile. Like it's just so much fun to drive. So I don't drive it very much, but they only made 3,000 of them, so they're like a little bit of a
collector's item.
Collector, yeah. But other than that, like I'm not a watch guy or like fancy clothes and nothing like that. So
what about on the road? Will you like splurge and get yourself like a little nicer Airbnb now or anything? No. That's where I'm like cheapest. Like you don't the 5-star hotel doesn't do it for you?
No, I'm not a hotel guy. I stay in Airbnbs as much as I can. Usually try to find the cheapest-ish ones. Not spending $8 grand on a house for a week or something like that. There's certain weeks where you have to do that for like majors and whatnot, but yeah, I try to avoid at all costs, and then
we'll come back in 3 years and you'll be buying a mattress every week to get the right right fit.
I haven't fallen into that. I travel with my own pillow. That's about it.
I travel with bedding.
I've been doing that since you travel with bedding.
Yeah, I'm so weird about
I'm gonna grab a tea real quick.
I'm so weird about beds that aren't mine.
Really?
I just get really like germophobia and
yeah.
And I'm a big I hate top sheets.
Okay.
So I go fitted sheet and then like duvet cover.
Yeah.
And so I just travel with a fitted sheet, my duvet cover, and a pillow in one suitcase.
That's so funny.
Yeah, well, I get free luggage, so I'm not, it's not.
Why not?
Yeah.
I do not do that.
Especially if you're gonna be somewhere for like a week.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so used to it now. Like grew up, but I should say like beginning of my career, you stay in such bad hotels all the time. It's like, it just is what it is. Maybe sleep with sweatpants and a hoodie up just so you don't really touch anything. But like, that's my idea of a cover. But I stay in Airbnbs. Like, yeah, I have like a bigger team now, but it's all like necessary. And also I'm like a big relationships person. Like I really need to make sure I like them. I like having like a personal relationship with the people I have on my team or work with. Like,
it's interesting. Some guys I feel like to keep it pretty business.
Yeah, for sure. Like in terms of agencies and stuff, they want just like the big corporate whatever. It's like, no, like I want to know the person I work with, and I want it to be like that person or one other kind of thing. So,
know who you're talking to.
What's that?
You know who you're talking to.
Yeah. So
you like it in for these or out or?
Usually out, as long as I can see it. Should be good. Yeah. But yeah, I have a stats guy, trainer. I worked in the nutritionist for a little while to just get my body right, and then yeah, just got a good core group of people around me, which is nice. And everybody, nice thing is like everybody knows each other and works together as well. So it all like
Team Knapp, baby.
Yeah, it all works very seamlessly. All right, see if we can hoop a longer one. Oh, I'll stay up. Wow, that dove a lot.
Not bad.
Yeah, broke a lot more in the second half than I thought.
There you go. No pebble beach.
No pebble here.
No pebble. Take your time.
It's like a free throw.
Oh, that was awkward there. All right, this one's pretty similar to what we've seen on the others. It gets a little narrower up there. 446, so by your standards.
It's sneaky. It's a little bit longer than I thought it was.
Yeah.
A lot of 450s. And
a lot of
450s.
450s.
Let's see. We got.
Looks like that right side's pretty generous.
Yeah.
You thinking drivers at the right edge of that greenside bunker?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why not hit a driver? Seems like we can. There's some guys in the green. We can roll it into them.
They'll enjoy it.
Yeah, they're not gonna yell at me.
They're not gonna yell at you. That's one benefit of having your name on your bag.
Then again, who knows? Maybe they're not golf fans. Little wind right to left.
Oh yeah. That's really good.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice.
That's gonna be a tape measure shot.
Keep falling.
That's just riding the wind. Should be perfect.
Yeah, it should be nice.
So the nightclub thing.
Oh yeah, baby.
I feel like a way too much was made of that.
Yeah. I think there was a lot of, I think it was misunderstood. I think there were a lot of times where I'd listen to coverage and they'd be like, you know, he was a bouncer before he decided to play professional golf. And I was just like, holy cow.
You're like, no, I've worked every day since I was 6 years old to be a pro golfer.
Yeah, not quite. I'm like, if you even just like search up me and my junior whatever, like I played a lot. And like I was on, you know, I was decent, like I was good. But I was like, yeah, I hit a little bit of a rough patch and did something else. And realistically, it was like one of the best decisions I ever made.
Got some extra cash?
Yeah, some extra cash, perspective, appreciation, all those sorts of things. It was a...
And now you can deal with drunk fans.
100%. Yeah, I think it's funny. Mike and I talk about it all the time. I'm like, this guy's talking to the wrong guy. Better watch his tone.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a really thin rope.
I'll escort you right out of this place.
Yeah, I have no issue. No, it's, yeah, it was
you get some good fan support.
For sure. I think that's been like the coolest part is just like, you know, you show up as a rookie and like most people, you know, especially show up to like farmers and some of those events, like that's really like the first one where there's a lot of people, you know, big golf community in San Diego and SoCal in general. So it's like a busy event. Cause you know, before that you really just played Sony, not a ton of people, played Amex, not a lot of people. It's kind of spread out.
Yeah. 3 courses.
Yeah. And then you go to farmers and it's like, man, if you play the weekend, it's like, there's a lot of people. Yeah. Even on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's like there's some people that come out and are just walking around. But like I remember walking up to a tee box that week and like overhearing a couple of people and they're just like, who is this guy? Like, who is this? Like, you know, is he, you know, and I'm just like, I was like, yeah, fair enough.
You got rid of that pretty quick though.
Yeah, no. I mean, played well that week and then obviously a few weeks after and it was, you know, it's like, even in terms of like being well known or whatever, it's like the golf community or the golf world's like, it's obviously golf's like grown a lot. And it's like if I show up at a golf course, like, yeah, sure, people are going to know who I am. But like, for the most part, I can go live my daily life and like not worry about it. Whereas you have a guy like Rory, it's like, when I talk to him about it, it's like, dude, what do you do? You know, like, where do you go to dinner?
He can't go out for dinner,
yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's tough. Like you know, especially when you're living in an area where like, it's a big golf culture. You live in Jupiter, you live in Scottsdale, you live in, you know, Dallas, Southern California, where people know that like those kind of people are around.
Yeah, like Rom can't just like turn up to dinner.
Yeah. Like, you know, and then, but at the same time, like maybe, you know, if you live in a small enough town where everybody knows you or whatever, then it's like you can do whatever you want because they're so used to seeing you. So there's probably like a balance in there somewhere. But, you know, I think there's like such a big community here and so many guys that are out here that I feel like everybody's pretty used to it at this point, or, you know, might get excited for a second, but usually I'll go to the grocery store, I'll get recognized by one person and go about my business.
Your girlfriend's she's big time.
I know. She's making waves.
She's making waves in the golf community.
Yeah. Yeah, she just loves Twitter. She loves Twitter.
I'm interested to see how long that lasts because I love Twitter.
Yeah.
And then it's a very fine line.
Twitter can be volatile.
Twitter can really get away from you.
Yeah, especially if you're like sarcastic or if you try to take a certain tone. Like I was just talking about with my agent the other day, and he's like, dude, it's so tough. Like when people read stuff, like if it's anything that needs explaining, then like you're just gonna get such a massive amount of people who try to bring up like, or just try to basically turn it.
Well, just take it super literal.
Negative light.
Yeah.
You know, like unless you really explain, like, hey guys, here's exactly what I mean by this comment. Like, you know, then people just start to.
Well, I remember even when like Tiger tweeted like, "Oh, I'm gonna be playing the Masters." Like a lot of people were like, "Amazing! Like, good luck."
Literally.
It's
like, come on. Like, first of all, it's April 1st. Let's take a deep breath here and think this one through. That was mean though for him to do that. That was just.
There was a second there where I was like, "Oh," and then I remembered April 1st.
Yeah, literally. He did do a good job of posting about 3 minutes later. Just
hey, this is
guys,
a joke.
It's just a joke.
103. Yeah, 103.
103.
Back pin.
So this one's like one where I'll hit like a little bit more of a, I mean, that's similar to that 94 shot, but a little bit more of like a even skippier one.
Just so it can get to that back pin?
Yeah, just get it back there without having to worry about flying it back.
All right, we're 4 under. Let's get it to 5.
Okay, deal.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir. Golf shot.
Nice.
There was a pro when I was growing up who was like, he was fucking old when I was growing up, so he must be ancient now.
Yeah.
Every time you hit a good one, he would go, golf shot.
Golf shot.
Golf shot.
It's the only little thing in golf that I've never been a big fan of is when people call other guys pro.
You don't like when someone says, hey, pro?
Yeah, hey, pro. That's just never, I don't know, it's just never been a thing around me. Like, when I was growing up or anything like that. And so like when I get called that, I'm like, that's just weird.
Good job, pro. Playing pro.
Hey, pro. What's going
on, all right.
Pro?
Noted.
And I'm like, all right, you can just switch the P out with a B and I'm totally good with it. But
noted. When contacting Jake Knapp, do not call him pro.
Be like, hey, pro, good playing. Like, just say my name.
Yeah, just say Jake.
Yeah.
Are you Jacob?
I am a Jacob.
Jacob. Always
gone by Jake. Actually, it was funny when I was in junior golf, my dad used to sign me up sometimes as Jacob and sometimes Jake. So I had like 2 rankings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That probably screwed with things a little bit.
It did.
Yeah.
So we had to like.
Had to combine them.
Yeah, like once I think it was when I got over like 16, they were like, which one are you?
Which are you? And then you
I was like,
Jake.
we'll do Jake.
Yeah.
Jake sounds good.
Jake's a good name. Jake's. There haven't been a lot of like famous bad Jakes.
No, we've done all right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Big Jake has a nice brand.
Yeah. Like you ever seen 16 Candles?
No, what is that?
Movie? Old movie?
Is there a Jake in it?
16 Candles?
No.
The actor's movie, or the actor in the movie, his name is Jake Ryan. I'm Jake, my brother's Ryan.
Oh, perfect.
So that's what my mom went with.
Oh, really? After the movie?
I mean, somewhat. Yeah. Pretty.
Two solid names.
We're pretty positive.
Those names stand the test of time.
It's Jacob, so it's biblical as well.
I loved that shot there. That's the back pin shot, kind of?
Yeah. Let it trundle back. Try to get not spin as much. Basically, just let it release and do its thing. I mean, that one landed significantly shorter, obviously. But
yeah, that took a big hop.
Yeah. That's like when I say like I'm not as much of a spin person. Like spin it when you need to, but like.
Oh, that's bad again.
I kind of. We'll work on that release.
High left.
It's a good thing you're not a pitcher in men's softball or something.
I was just. It's too much. You know, I got to release it half a second earlier.
Yeah, that's fair. See, now you start thinking about it.
I know. I'm in my head.
That's why, like, I go overhand and I shoot it to my.
Oh yeah, you get the nice touch.
Little flick of the wrist.
Little free throw action. This is one where I've caddied for guys enough. I know I don't say anything on these putts. They're professional golfers.
Yeah.
I let
sometimes, yeah. Sometimes Mike will say too much. No, he won't say too much, but he knows when to not.
This is you just they've hit thousands of these in their life. A new leader in the clubhouse. What a performance, Mr. Jake Knapp.
Is that 9? We only played.
That was 9.
One par 3.
That was only one par 5. Good stuff, man.
Pleasure.
You gotta grade my caddy skills. I was pretty hands off today.
You were hands off, but I thought the green reading was an A+.
You were impressed.
You dialed that, and then I think the lines off the tee were solid.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for us both not being here before. So give me a better book, and I think you're
I
A+.
think 5 under first time seeing the course is pretty good.
I'll give you a solid A.
I'll take an A. All right, like and subscribe. We're gonna do more of these on the bags. Thank you so much. Thanks to Jake for being here.
Thank you guys.
5 under par. I hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Appreciate you.